Right then. Sorted. Right. What is happening, people? Welcome back to another video. This is the YIC Podcast. We have SmoeNova tonight. We have Doke TV and we have Flow. What is happening, guys? How's it going? We've all got
How are you
wine. We've
doing?
all got beer. And just going to kick it off. Right. We're going to have a little chat about our emotions tonight and how proud we are of the artwork that we've come up with, and probably talk about like the emotions of the first big piece that we've ever done. So I'm going to probably lay this one out to an experienced artist, and we go with Flow on the first one. On like what run us through like what was going through your mind when you first did your first big mural and where you was and stuff like that.
Well, I guess I don't really know what was the first really big mural where I was very proud of myself and the work that I've done. But there are a few, like not the very first one I was proud of, but there are a few murals and projects I did in the past, and these are my favorite ones. Not the really big ones, but my favorite ones. So I have a few. I have like, I guess what a project and a mural makes the mural itself or the project special is like the journey you have from starting on a blank wall to the finished wall. Like, what are you going to like? I don't know how to explain that. Like the journey you are going to, and what you are thinking about, what the struggles are, and if there are struggles, you maybe deal with them and figure it out, and it comes out very well at the end. So I have this I have this project in mind when I was painting in a coffee shop, like in a cafeteria, like in a coffee. Well,
Coffee shop.
however, yeah, you can eat cakes and drink coffee. Where the customer or the client asked me to paint a scenery which is not really, which doesn't exist in reality. It's a scenery you're walking through the street, and you have like big old facades on the side. You have this vanishing point, which goes to the skyline of Frankfurt, the hometown where I live. And this project was very special because it reminds me of my job that I used to learn as a theater painter, like a scenery painter, and it has a lots of like perspective in it and depth, and I worked in many layers and very transparency with a lot of water in the paint, and it was a very special, like a very special progress for me for this painting, because I said to myself, I could paint this in about 3 days, but I blocked about 6 days for it just to enjoy the ride of painting.
Yeah.
And this was very special to me. Yes.
It's the best. Having enough time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Because like my first ever mural was a Hulk. He had giant sausage fingers. He looked like he had a stroke, and his arm was coming out of his head.
Really?
He was so bad. He was so. I was trying to make him look like this, but his arm just like came out like this, and it was just. It was
like one of the monsters Smo and Doke did together.
Worse. Wait, they were like proper monsters. Mine was like a complete car crash. But I remember doing it. I remember, like, for instance, like, so I went to go see the client and everything, and the guy was a bit of a dick. But he was just like, right, can you paint the Hulk? And I was like, I'd never painted the Hulk before. I was like, saying, yeah. And I just remember being like so nervous about doing it. I was like, really crap my pants. I didn't have paint at this point. And he was just like, right, how much are you going to cost? And I was like, I don't know, 200 quid. So I went and got like near enough £120 worth of paint, and realized
Worth
like,
it.
yeah, but I got about £120 worth of paint, which is clearly not enough for the size of it and everything. And then at this point, I did not know how to do proportions correctly. It was just all over the shop. Like I said, it was wonky. But I remember doing it, and it was just like, it's the first wall I've got my like hands on. Everything else beforehand was like my mum and dad's garage, which was like very simple stuff. I did was like New York City skyline, which is just obviously a bunch of lines and square boxes and things. So him to ask me to do that, and then I did it. It's not too bad for what it is. But I just remember doing it and being like really, really proud of it. And then taking loads of pictures, putting it all over Facebook, and like 3 people seen it on Facebook. I think it had like 1 like, and I was just like, oh my God, it must be shit. So but luckily off the back of doing that one, I booked to do Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then I remember seeing a video by Soffels, because obviously he'd done a couple of bits here and there, and I was fascinated by the stuff the guy was creating. And as I was looking through the video, he was painting a load of different things. And then all of a sudden, there was like an outline of a Cadillac. I was like, hang on a minute. So I put it in slow motion on YouTube and then froze it on one frame. And I seen a projector. I was like, right. That's how you get perspectives right. That's how you get all these things right. So the following job what I'd done after that was Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the projector was set up wrong. So Arnold Schwarzenegger was really skinny. He was like, the proportions weren't correct. So I projected it, and I was just like, be true to the projection. It's going to be right. And then he came out and he looked anorexic. He was like this.
No way.
Oh, man, he was so bad. But it looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it just looked like he'd just been on a major diet.
A question at this point. You said you were like nervous when you started the job, like the first Hulk job. Are you still nervous nowadays when you start painting jobs?
Depends on what it is. If it's something like a huge school wall, which is like broken into loads of different pieces, then no. When it's a big facade on the side of a like 3-story building, which I did a couple last year, then yes. And especially if they're in like public spaces. So I did a side of a pub last year, and it was a bird. And a table with a pint glass on there, and then a load of scenery in the background. Now, starting that one, I am bricking it. I'm shitting my pants, because all I'm thinking is do not get the perspective wrong. And secondly, like being in Wales, you're always up against the weather, and you're always up against what people have obviously done before you. So wall preparation is key. Like, and this is why I do a lot of my own preparation when it comes to doing the background colors and stuff like that. I've done one piece recently. Well, I say recently, it's about 2 years old now. And the lady's husband painted the wall with emulsion, indoor paint. 2 weeks later, she called me up and said all the paint is coming off. Now, that's why I shit my pants, because I don't want that to happen on a facade that's the side of a building and it all starts crumbling off. And then everyone goes, oh, Tee2sugars painted that. Look how terrible it looks. Where this lady messaged me and I said, oh, can I have a look at this tub of paint? She had like a 25-litre tub, was like this big, cost her like £8 off Amazon. All of it was in Chinese. I was just like, what on earth is this paint? And it's just like watered down emulsion, which is for your walls inside your house. And it was just bare cement. It was all of it just came peeling off, and it was just like, oh my God. But if that was in a public space, that's where I worry a lot. But yeah, for most murals, when I turn up on his garden walls, I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty switched on with it now, like, but I don't don't get nervous. But if I was like asked to do something special, like for instance, I just went to do the opening of the Six Nations, and I painted the 6 captains. And
in one night.
Yeah, in one night. Then taking it and representing that and standing there like this. It's just like they coming up and it's gotta look like them. Antoine Dupont from France, he looked fat, but it was just the way that it went. He was podgy. He was just looked a little bit pumped up like this. So, but no, yeah, other than that, like this, I'm pretty much okay with. But do you find like when you like, so for instance, have you any of you done gallery shows or like standing there when something's been presented is the most scariest thing in the world? So Flo, I'm guessing you would have probably done stuff like that, is it? Where there's like an unveiling or anything?
Like exhibitions?
Yeah.
Or no, I never did an exhibition. I really never had the time to produce paintings because I'm always busy painting on jobs. But when it comes to being nervous, the most nervous moment for me is when I start a workshop, like a drawing workshop, and the class is sitting in front of me, and I have to deliver. Like there are sitting like a lot of people, and most of those people are older than me, and like doctors or stuff like that, and they want me to teach them. So this is freaking awesome to me. So they want me, just a usual guy, just a like. What are you doing?
Look, we can't hear you anymore.
Yeah, so this is the moment I'm mostly nervous before. But as the workshop continues,
you need to imagine them all being naked.
I knew he was going to say this.
But this does not work. It does not work at all. It just makes you more nervous.
What I basically do is not imagine how they look naked. I just imagine how they sit on the toilet and swipe off their asses.
Really?
Yeah.
This is terrible.
And then imagine they are just swooshing and taking a look if there is something. Oh, I need to do it again. So, all right, like this is.
Oh, come
on. All right.
Really?
Okay.
You got a weird imagination. Weird.
Yeah. It should be weird. The weirdest imagination is the most
best.
Helpful. Yeah.
Probably. But Smo, you've done like represented some work. You did a German footballer, and you had to go take it to him. Did you get nervous with that?
Yeah. The problem was I did not know Joshua Kimmich. I painted Joshua Kimmich for his.
You did not know him?
I did not know him. No, I don't know any footballer. Lothar Matthäus. This is I know Lothar Matthäus. This is or Jürgen Klinsmann. I think they don't play anymore. They're like 50 years old.
Back in the days, late 90s or something.
Yeah, I've really got no idea about football, and I just got this email that the management from Joshua Kimmich, somebody wants a portrait of him. Or somebody wants something to paint, and I didn't read it right, and I thought somebody wants like a football logo on a garage door or something, and I don't do jobs like that. And I was reading this email and was standing outside, and Nick Moody was there and some other guys, and we were painting the garden wall together. And I said, and I'm the manager from Joshua Kimmich. Who is this? And they all like, Joshua Kimmich? Are you crazy? And I already said that I won't do this. I don't do football jobs. Yeah, at the end I did it. And I was pretty nervous this time, but I was well prepared because I came there already with the finished canvas, and we just pretended to start to paint there. And then when I just did the the first lines and everything, we just put the one canvas away, and we took the finished one, and then we pretended that I masked everything, and we did the background so that he did not see it, how it really looked at the end. And then we had this revealing moment when he peeled off the masking tape, or I did it. I don't remember it really. And yeah, but I think the first question was about the emotion of painting, and this, it's, for me, painting has nothing to do with commissions or with others. It was always like painting for myself. And one of the most exciting feelings that I had was really my first graffiti that I painted at all. It was with 5 spray cans that I bought in a hardware store, and I painted in my kids' room. And I still remember this day when I was walking in the hardware store just to buy these 5 cans, each for 10 Deutsche Mark. It was even before the euro, and I spent it was like 50 Deutsche Mark that I have to pay for the spray cans. And I felt like when Harry Potter was getting his magic wand, in Gringotts. I got these spray cans, and I knew that this is so. Yeah, exactly. And this was such a super fulfilling emotion that still is in every artwork when I paint for myself. I really don't like this pressure when I have to paint for someone else and when other people have expectations and so on. I think this kills a lot of this positive vibe. And you asked also, what was the last big mural where we had such a sort of a feeling? And it was the unicorn wall when I painted underneath the bridge, because I painted there without any time pressure. I painted what I wanted. There was no customer, no nothing. And I had this great idea with the 2 parts that get together and make one poster at the end. And this was insane. This was, I think, I did not really manage it to beat the feeling of this project in the whole last year. Even if I was in Brazil, this was insane as well. But this was the best feeling, and I'm getting back there. This is what I try to focus on, not to please others, and to chase this feeling again.
So do you know, like in your artwork, do you have like something that is this like the stuff that you're painting, like the unicorn one?
Yeah.
Is that stuff that you've always wanted to paint? Because like you're always kind of like so like super surrealistic.
Yeah.
And is that the stuff you've always been interested in? And obviously, and painting it is always like, you always get the emotions going and things like that from your own artwork.
Yes. This is I paint the artworks that others don't paint for me.
Because a lot of artists don't paint. Like I'd speak just for myself here, but a lot of us don't really paint the artwork that we want to paint. And obviously, I've done a YouTube video on this before. But paint. Do you find trying to find yourself? Because I'm guessing, Doke, you're kind of in this lull at the minute of trying to find your way in the art world, like trying to discover new things and everything like that. Like I haven't even bothered yet going down that rabbit hole of having my own niche and stuff. Like you've got these real cool characters, you do these really cool mountains, super surrealistic stuff, and then like you got Flo, your style is very like unique to yourself as well, because like you use a lot of like paintbrushes and you're super fast with a paintbrush. I really don't get how you do it so fast with a paintbrush. And if as soon as I pick up a brush, I go 3 hours later and nothing's happened. But yeah, I joke. You must know how I feel with the paintbrush, because the recent indoor wall that you've done as well.
Yeah. And I still remember, like, I finished it, and a few days later, Flo told me, "Yeah, you could have done it in 3 days." And I was like, "No fucking way!" Like, no.
Yeah.
But the result
Maybe
looks great. No
Yeah,
matter
I
if
was.
you paint 5 days, 6 days, 8 days, or 3 days.
Yeah, it was 7, and it was
A long
painful.
7. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so like for you, like, Dork, is like, so most of your stuff on YouTube is mostly your own work. Am I right by saying that?
Yes and no. I mean, it's my own work. Most of the stuff that I painted on YouTube isn't commissioned so by anyone, but it's kind of commissioned by YouTube and its algorithm. So, I used to paint mostly graffiti pieces back in the days, and it was working, but it was like okay-ish. And then I started this whole journey of getting better. I called it Art Story, and I just went like trying. I had the I Try series where I tried all these different effects, and I tried some challenges and blah, blah, blah. I was just trying. And during this trying period, I truly had some times when I was really proud of myself. For example, when I painted like fire. I never thought I could paint fire, and suddenly I painted this fiery house, and it was really impressive to me. So during this time, I impressed myself multiple times. But right now, I feel like I don't know what's mine. Like, what am I even painting? Like, when you imagine my name, what people imagine next to it? Is it graffiti? It shouldn't be, because I don't paint graffiti I haven't been painting graffiti for like 2 years now, maybe. Some pieces here and there. So yes, I'm kind of trying to find out what is my thing, I would say.
You need to paint what comes the easiest to you, because you don't want to suffer all the time. When you paint something that does not feel natural to you, it's always a pain to paint that. But if you paint something that comes easy to you and where you have interest in, and you repeat that, you just have to repeat it like 5 times or 10 times, and suddenly it is yours, and everyone else will combine you with this thing. It's like my pyramid mountains. It's complete useless. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just it happened, and it is like because I thought it's the easiest way for me to paint mountains without all the structure.
So you're just lazy.
Yes, of course I'm lazy. Of course, you have to follow the lazy path, because you want to do this your whole life. The lazy art. You want to do this your whole life, and if you go the way that feels unnatural to you because you want to be something that is impressive or whatever, this is complete bullshit. You always need to follow your heart, follow what is easy, what you like.
I mean, sometimes you need to challenge yourself to try different things, but this is what you described, like painting something 6 times in a row, or just painting the same subject 6 times in a row. That's what I'm missing, because when you look at my Instagram, my artworks are all over the place. I paint portraits, I paint digital, I paint on walls, I paint on canvases, I paint animals, I paint that, I paint in a cartoonish style, I paint in paintery style. I'm going nuts because of that. But I want to narrow the focus right now to something, and I think I know what it will be, and I'm very excited about that.
I guess what Smo said, when you handle your like art thing in your comfort zone, and you do things where you feel comfortable with, there is also in every art piece a situation where you have to struggle and you have to learn with it. Like when I remember back in the days when I started this Lazy Art channel, like this YouTube channel or the Instagram handle, it was like a hobby for me to draw, and I wanted to share my drawings with other people. So I never wanted to get like famous or something, or get like more than 200,000 followers or something, but I wanted to share my development of getting better in drawing. Just and this is basically what I did. When you see my Instagram handle on Lazy Arts, it's like only pencil on paper, only portraits, mostly women, and every portrait is different, but I really love to draw women portraits just because I find it like, this is like, it's beautiful and lovely, and it's always the same. It's always like the lashes are the same and the lips are the same, but every portrait is unique. And when you paint, like, I don't know if Smo like paints mountains, this shape. Yeah.
I like to paint old men. I don't know what's wrong with me.
With arms kind of the ears.
Yeah. Then everywhere is a struggle. That's what I wanted to say. Even if you feel like you're in the comfort zone, there is any spot in your artwork where you at least feel like for 10 minutes you are struggling. This is the moment where you learn, I guess.
But the problem is when the whole process feels like struggling.
Yeah. This is why you need to do it in the easy and the lazy way. And if I should tell you what your style is, then I would definitely say your tiny bit of wobbly black outlines. This is your thing. I would definitely say that, and work with a lot of midtones without any fadings.
Yeah.
As the fill in. So this is like when you were painting this it was at the side of a street. You were painting a rabbit and I don't know, a bird and some what was this? What you were painting and some berries?
I know. Yeah, there was a bird and berries. Yes.
Yeah, something like that. This is what felt to me like, wow, he's doing it so easily. It is like he's just painting it to the wall. It just like you were just doing it like it is you're
natural.
doing nothing else. It's natural. This was the most natural, one of the most natural paintings that I can remember.
I think the title for that one was 98% of women love this or something like that. I think that might be the title.
No, that's a different one.
But it was the same style.
Yeah, the same style. Yes, I'm kind of comfortable in that. I call it doodle style, like black outlines, almost no fadings, solid colors. Just, define it with values only, and all the edges.
My favorite painting from a few is the one you did with Graffiti Block together. I guess it was,
this was good.
In the Step in the Arena location or something.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. I really
like that. Like I love that as well, because I had it prepared very well and it turned out nicely, and it was pretty fast, and I was like, okay.
So is that the cow one? So
yeah, it's a cow.
Yeah,
I'll put a picture up on screen of that, like, so people can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, show the cow.
Yeah, the cow. But no, it's the same. Like, because that was obviously on the trip that we all went to Geldern for on the way, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the trip. That was a very nice trip.
Yeah. But like so like we were going back to like the emotions of it. So like where did you like so like when your first piece that you did was obviously I'm guessing a doke throw up somewhere. What was the rush for that? Was it, did you paint doke first or did you paint something else?
Mm,
Was it legal or illegal?
illegal for sure. No, I did bunch of tags, and I started with tags, and tags were the motivation there was just having fun with friends, and it was a bit of adrenaline as well. But when I started to like really get into graffiti, my very first graffiti piece was doke actually, and it was in an abandoned building in the middle of a field. And I remember that I was kind of surprised, like, okay, this is not so bad. And I painted a few more pieces, and I started to feel like, okay, cool. And then sorry, I can't swear. Then
Sorry.
I messed up. One piece totally, and I remember feeling like, what the hell just happened? Like, how could this happen? Like, I'm good, I'm great. So yeah, the emotion, the in the beginning it was like, show your friends that you are good at it, and just we are pushing each other with my classmates, and my neighbors from the village where I lived. I was lucky enough to have neighbors who were actually interested in graffiti.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know anyone around you that's interested in graffiti. The next thing is like the next city away, which is 45 minutes drive. So, yeah, and them guys don't like me. So, but hey, but no, it's cool. Like, because obviously, like, so what's like the biggest painting that you've done? Like, so that that you've been most nervous about, and that give you the most emotions. So like I've painted so for one of the ones, to give you guys an example, is I've painted my daughter on a wall over Christmas as like a miniature green Hulk. But I kind of like this like neon effect. It's like where you use an LED light, you change the color of it, and I just put it in front of her. And like when I painted that one, I had to make sure that it was absolutely spot on. It's my daughter at the end of the day, and like the wall I painted it at is a legal area, and everybody else has been painted over apart from that. And every time I see that people go to the wall now and they take pictures, every time it gets it's a real nice feeling of like seeing her still up on the wall, and it's just always great. Like it's always that feeling of that piece is that good that the other artists haven't painted over it yet. So yeah.
To be honest, when you posted this picture, just that what you talked about now was my first thought about the image. Like you painted it like on a small part of the wall, like on the corner, and my first thought was I saw your post, and my thought was, okay, this is a legal haul, but everything is getting covered the next 2 years except of this piece. And it turns out like this.
Cool.
Because I guess it's something like when you painting in a hall. I don't have that much experience in painting halls because I'm not typical graffiti artist, but I guess when you see an artwork on the wall in a hall, in a legal hall, and you have the feeling that it takes a lot of time, and the artist was like with fully heart on this piece, it won't be covered that early. It takes longer. It stays longer on the wall,
which
just
is even
because
funnier
of the respect or something.
because the piece actually only took me 2 hours. where other pieces took me way, way longer because I was supposed to have met a friend there called Jenks Art. And he was painting Faithless, which is a DJ that recently passed away. And he'd been there all day painting. It's a big piece, ours. But he'd been there all day, and I met him for his last 45 minutes of painting, and then carried on painting after he'd left. But he'd been there for maybe 6 to 7 hours. I was there for 2 hours. I literally had 2 hours because I had to pack up to get home to look after my children. So it was literally a mad rush, which is normally with something like that, I would like easily go down 10 a.m., stay till 7 p.m., make sure in every little detail of his right. But I think because of how mad the timing was for it all, it just adds a little bit more to it. That I could have sat in front of it a little bit longer. I could have added that little bit more detail to it. But I think as it stands right now, it's pretty much like, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's 90% there. And like you said, like going to a hall and seeing other people being turned over all the time, and yours being left alone, and the artist respecting it. I think that's a real nice feeling, like that your stuff is not touched. So I'm guessing. I was going to say to Doke then. I'm guessing most of your stuff now is pretty much gone, is it, from the subway?
Yeah, I used to paint only in our Hall of Fame and also other legal places. So yes, most of my work is gone.
And most of Smoes is still alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still, but I think the time of my pieces is running because the local graffiti scene is growing and very active. We got some real ambitious young guys here who are bombing the whole city. They're destroying everything.
Woo.
It's like Warendorf now has a graffiti scene, and I'm still not part of it.
But it's so interesting that you only need like 2 guys who are willing to do this, and they can destroy the whole city.
Yeah, I think there are like four guys even. 2 are very active, and some others are maybe not now helping them. Or yeah, it's interesting. I think it's super interesting to see.
But what kind of things do they, like chrome bombings? Or
No, they do full
throw-ups?
color. They do full color,
Okay.
but you can see that they are young and that they are just giving a shit. They're just doing their thing. I have no idea. I would not stand at night half of an hour at the middle of the road and paint a full color piece. But they do this, and yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, like at the start, it's about getting up on the walls, getting your name out, and
Pretty nice.
I never did it, so it
Me too.
it was never
Never.
really a thing for myself. Like,
God bless you.
Say that I've never done it. There is a wall that is just about to be destroyed by a new road going in, which back in the day I used to paint well tea. That was before it was called Tee2sugars. I used to paint well tea. And there's 2 subways in Hirwain, in a town just over the road, well, just over the mountain. And yeah, they ripped the top off of the bridge, and we currently have to drive around it now. And you can see all my well tea paintings, and they're so bad. They are so bad. But yeah, I'm just driving past now, and every time I go past, I'm like just looking over to see what's there. There's a couple of other small pieces alongside, but yeah, the 4 well tea pieces are still standing strong, like, you know. So I did a little bit of it, and I remember there was a dog walker coming past, and this was like 11:30 at night, and this place had no street lights. It's a back lane. I thought it's easy, no one's gonna come down here. So I'm painting it, and then I seen a guy coming. I ran and hid in a bush, and I'm in the bush, and I'm like, can he see me? And then I realized there's a light just over the way, so you would have seen just a silhouette of some boy in a bush. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't hide very well. Like, it was just, I may as well have done this.
And he's gone.
It was
Nice.
terrible. It was the worst hiding place ever. Like, and yeah, after that happened, I thought I'm too much of a wimp to get locked up for doing graffiti, so I just went back to doing legal walls.
Yeah,
I would like to hit like the streets like at least once. With
One more
something-
time, like.
Yeah, with something big. And I actually got invitations from like the graffiti legends from Slovakia who painted in 90 countries all around the world. Like, come with us to Vienna, let's paint a subway. And I was like, no. Like, but
I'm too pretty for prison.
yeah, I don't want to go to prison. Because when you bomb some wall in your city, you're not gonna go to prison. But if you bomb a subway in Vienna, that can get ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spoke to last year I did some piece for another YouTube channel called Finders Beepers, and they go around the world going into abandoned buildings, and they got arrested.
It was so good. They are arrested?
They got arrested in Italy and in Belgium. So one of the guys, there's a place, I'm not sure where it is. It might be in Italy, where there's like a restaurant. It's an abandoned restaurant, but one of the places where you could sit and have food was in a old helicopter, an Apache helicopter. It's a big, huge helicopter, and in the back end of the restaurant then was an old aeroplane, which the front of it has been cut off and the back of it has been cut off. So Andy got arrested in the helicopter. I think that's how the story went, but he got arrested. Andy did. And then for the life of me, I can't remember what the other guy's name is now, but he was on top of the roof and they didn't see him. And he was just like, oh shit, how am I going to get down? I need Andy to give me a boost down to get off the roof. So he jumped off the roof, took the skin off the front of his shin, and had to go bail his mate out of prison. I was just like, oh, like they do that on a regular basis. They've been arrested so many times as well. And he's just like, oh yeah, don't worry about it.
But that's like trespassing, but it's not like a criminal thing, I guess. You know, you're just trespassing private property. In America, they would shoot you, but
yeah.
Here it's okay.
By the way, just a quick question. When you said America, then you did some pieces in America.
Yeah.
Were they all legal?
Bots painted over you.
Yes.
Frankie Bots.
Frankie. Where? In New York?
Yeah.
When you painted with Slew and he painted
I think
over
I've seen
you.
that video. He recorded like a video and he was like making fun of it, right?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't really. Because if you actually look at it, someone had ragged your piece.
Yeah,
So-
I've seen that.
Yeah. He said he will repair it. It was a joke.
Yeah,
It was a
okay.
joke.
I have seen that video. But my pieces in USA were almost all, I guess, legal. But I was always surprised that it's actually pretty hard to find the legal spot in US. It's like, take Los Angeles, for example. It's a goddamn huge city. And you have like, okay, you have maybe a few spots, but it's not like traditional legal walls where you just come. You actually need to contact someone, like Kipto, for example, and he's gonna call the guys from the spot and they're gonna open the gate for you and stuff like this. So I was really surprised that it's legal spots basically, okay, they exist, but they are pretty rare
Yeah.
in such a big areas.
Yeah. When
Or
I
there
went
are
to
some
San
stupid
Francisco,
rules.
go on.
Yeah, I painted one above San Francisco in some small city, and I was surprised that in that small city there was a legal wall, but in San Francisco I was not able to find a legal wall.
No.
Or you find it, but it's in a very unpleasant neighborhood where you don't really want to be.
Yeah. So there's a graffiti shop in San Francisco which you can paint on the side, but you need to book like months in advance. There was a French guy
I think
painting.
I heard about it. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
heard about it.
So there was a French guy painting there, and then when I spoke to them inside, they said when you go to LA, ask for the container yard. So that's like another one. But like you said, like I was quite surprised. You've been to the container yard, yeah.
Yeah, if you maybe remember that my very first meeting with Kipto happened in that yard. It's like
That's
a
there,
big empty parking lot with several walls, but also there you can't just. I think you can't just come there and do whatever you want. You need to be in contact with the guys.
Yeah.
Or in New York,
Barndorf, you gotta.
Yeah, you gotta hit the local man like Smo. Because if you don't contact Smo and you paint in Warendorf, he's gonna come for you.
He's gonna and come. Yeah.
But when I was painting in Brooklyn with Slew and Verse, this guy who actually got us the wall, I was asking Verse like, okay, but what would happen if I paint here without permission? And he was like, oh yeah, someone would come and fuck you up. And I was like, okay, that's not very nice. I think nothing would happen, but if some wrong person would see you there without the permission, not a good thing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Speed told me about that. Smo, you know Speed because he, you know Speed too, I guess. Though
I actually got my contact in New York from Speed. Slew, who lives in Brooklyn, he was not able to get a wall, but we got the wall because of Speed, who knew Verse, and Verse was a very nice guy.
Yeah, that's what he told me, because he was planning a trip to New York this March, like I don't know, next week or something. They're gonna fly to New York, and they have about 5 days spending in New York, and they planned a trip, and they planned like he was asking me to come with him, but I still got work here to do. But he planned a trip, and every day they paint another wall. They are like 3 artists, and there is a local who guides them through the walls, and they have like, he told me something about like they are painting trucks. Like I don't know if it's legal, or there are like this silver chrome trucks standing there, and you can paint them if you know the people from the truck.
Yeah,
you can paint them, and it's like crazy. Yeah, but it's like a legal thing, I guess.
Yeah,
it's pretty. Yeah, funny. And that's what I was thinking about. Like Speed told me it's pretty hard to find a spot to paint in New York.
I'm painting with Speed next month.
Oh, really?
Where?
Yeah, he's come to London.
Oh, really?
I said I'll drive to London and come pick him up, and we'll go paint together.
Where are you gonna paint in London? Because I heard some sketchy things about painting in London.
Yeah,
the tunnel.
So it'll be the tunnel. It will be the Waterloo station. It's pretty. It's just open to the public. A lot of public just walk through. But
but
go on.
I mean, what I heard about London is that painting there is, first of all, very hard, because when you start painting, there are already people behind you waiting for your wall, because it's really packed. There are people painting and painting and painting. And the other thing that I heard is that there is a lot of like, these London sort of gangsters. They have a name, Road Boys.
Yeah.
You know, like these gangster kids, and there's like 20 of them, and I heard stories that they are stealing cans, and they can even put up a knife and threaten you for whatever money.
I think that's like more outside of the tunnel. But if you
Outside of the
get
tunnel.
yeah, if you get inside the tunnel, I think you're pretty much okay, because there's like there's 2 restaurants inside the tunnel as well. So there's a lot of public walking through the tunnel, you know. And I think we're gonna paint like midday. We're not gonna bother like painting like 7 p.m. And a lot of guys paint like 7 p.m. onwards. And they're all like covered, you know, covered up to the noses, hoods on, caps on, and they don't want to know. They don't want people knowing who they are. But I'm guessing when I go there's a guy called Oliveira that paints there all the time. He's a French guy, and he paints there.
Oliver?
Oliver, not Oliveira. Yeah, Oliver.
Or Euler?
Oliver. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a French guy, and yeah, he paints it all the time. And I spoke to Fussy, the guy who runs The Secret Writer. And I said, like, what's it like to paint there? And he said, just go paint over wherever you need to paint over. It's just obviously like, don't go ragging someone's piece just because of it. Then obviously their word might get out. But just pick one of the, there's a lot of chrome burners there. There's a lot of people who just get, I don't know, they get like 3 cans of crap and they'll just go there and just sling something up. And then someone else done like a spray can like a spray can with a face on it when I was here, and it was a really, really good piece. And someone had tagged straight over the middle of it, and I heard like that was up like 30 minutes, and it just got ragged straight away. Like, but when we paint, like Smo has said many, many times before, as soon as you paint, you take a picture. That is all you need. Move on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid of someone painting over my piece. I would be just afraid of these.
Hooligans.
Weird hooligans.
Yeah. But I think they'll probably be in school, maybe.
No,
I don't think so.
We'll paint midday, so they'll be in school in detention. So getting their heinies pounded like by the teachers. But yeah, no, I think we'd be okay. London is a bit of a shady place to do any activity whatsoever.
Do you have a concept for next week?
Next month it is in April. April the 17th, I think we've said, or something like that. So it at the minute I'm gonna do a face, and then Speed's gonna do. I'm guessing he's gonna write Speed.
And when you paint faces, typical. What's your preparation? Do you have just like a realistic photo reference? Or you already repainted that reference in your iPad or whatever, and you go straight from photo reference, or you also prepare the actual painting?
So I don't know. I think I'm going to paint one of my friends this time. So I'll just go down, take a picture of them, a few pictures, and then just take the photo and just take that. Yeah, most of the time it's just straight off an image. But I think I'm going to paint one of my 18th. I think it is. 18th, I think we've said, but yeah, 18th. I've just seen it.
Nice. Is Speed coming alone or with?
No, I think he's with. I'm not sure. He's with people anyway. But I've told him not to bother with paint because I said, just let me know what paint you want and I'll get it. I'll come up, but he's like determined that he wants to bring his paint. So,
how by plane?
I think he's driving. I'm not sure how he's coming, but I'm not sure if he wants to go to a spray paint shop first, and then buy his paint. So I think we're gonna have a chat now in the next week or so to find out what colors. And then if he wants to go to a shop, I could just open up the back doors and be like, buy off me.
He just needs one single skinny cap to paint a piece. Last time I painted with him on Zion's birthday was like we were painting all together on a huge wall with the organizer of the Dreckige Dutzend and some friends, and he was painting a speed style with typical speed style with flowers, and he just used one single skinny cap for everything, and there were like areas to fill like this size, and he filled it with a skinny cap, sitting on an empty box of beer cans, just filling it. He has
Enjoying life.
Yeah, enjoying life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might need a
Totally.
fat cap for the tunnel in Waterloo because it stinks of
man,
pee.
level 3 is okay. You don't need. I don't know. You don't need the Astro fat cap or something. But
I think the
skinny, come
Montana
on.
Gold standard cap is such
It's
a
the best.
great cap. You can make
Best, I love
so
it.
super skinny, thin lines with it, and you can also fill with it pretty nice. You can make fadings with it pretty nice. We were talking about laziness, and I'm so lazy that now I start using these golden caps all the time because they're just good enough. They're good enough for everything. Why changing caps?
Yeah.
It's a waste of time.
I guess the golden standard cap is the best cap to paint for me. I'm not like that experienced, but I think it's the best cap to paint animals and
Fur.
hairs and
Yeah.
fur. Totally.
Yeah.
If you hold the can like
in an angle, it has
like
a super sharp
sideways.
edge and fades really quick out. Yeah.
Crazy, and it's so soft. It's pretty nice. Yeah, you can if you make a transition from one, I don't know, if you take a color range from the gold cans, you can take like the color section 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever, and you spray them together and you fade them like sideways. It's so smooth and it's perfectly. Yeah. I love it.
I'm just so stuck with the banana universal. I just can't get away from it. But I'm stuck with the tiny pink stencil cap. I love the tiny pink stencil cap. It's probably the one thing I always drop back onto, and every time I use it, I always get messages off everybody asking me
4 millimeters. Drill it.
How do you use it? And I'm like, just like what he said, drill a 4 millimeter hole. But I always find that the cap always makes a difference. The banana universal is better because I don't know whether the paint is more focused, because it always ends up going through and it's a lot of paint, where when you use the gold standard, I find that it kind of fans out a little bit too much and the paint just doesn't really go through and penetrate like so. Them banana caps are the best, but the best banana caps are the Cobra red ones. They never clog. The banana universals are terrible for clogging. I go through so many on some murals. I must buy 100 a month because of how many times they clog.
Have you ever tried to put them into thinner and clean them?
Bin, lid, in, done. 20 pence. Sorted.
Yeah.
This happens
caps.
when you're just rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares about
cleaning caps? You don't have to be rich.
T is just rich.
The craziest surprise for me was like
Smo trying to get money out of him.
Yeah. I always paint when I paint with spray can. It's like I paint with Kreis. You mostly know them, most of you. Yeah. So most of the time I paint with spray can is when I paint with Kreis, and he just paint with he loves to paint with this Astro fat cap. I don't know from which concern it is, but it's the Astro fat cap. And we always use this as a fat cap. And then basically, I guess it was like 2 months ago, I was in the store, in the Montana store, from Mario. I don't know if someone knows Mario.
Kent.
He's Kent, yeah. He's Kent. He closes the store, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
so sad.
pretty sad for Frankfurt. Yeah, but I was there and getting some cans for the job, and I told him I need some fat caps, and I told him I usually use Astro fat caps, but he unfortunately have no Astro fat caps, and he told me you should try these fat caps, and he gave me like 10 of those yellow
Calligraphy
fat
caps?
caps.
Okay.
No,
Yellow.
they were, yeah, yellow. I've never worked with them before, but I worked on a job with them, and I started to paint with the Astro fat cap. We had just a few of them back in stack, and then I switched to the yellow one, and the painting with a yellow fat cap was like painting a carpet on the wall. Like you put pressure on it, and it was like in slow motion. Whoa! Never did something before. Yeah.
Sorry,
crazy.
my back.
I think I know the cap. It's like super wide and crazy.
Yeah. And the sound when you paint with a skinny cap, is like.
Yeah.
And when you paint with that, with this yellow fat cap, it's like.
I'm guessing it's
so
like
nice.
the ultra wide cap, and you've done a whole piece with this, haven't you, Doke?
Yeah,
Where
the
it's
ultra
like
wide cans.
It's 3 slots in the front, and it just comes out. The paint does. Yeah, it's just the fastest thing I've ever used in my life. It's exactly as you say it, because we was when I used to work for Graph City, I used to work for the spray paint shop, and I thought I'd have a little go, and they're tall cans. And I remember like standing like right back from the wall and just doing it. And it's like you said, it's like the paint is like standing off the wall like this. And it's so thick, it's just crazy.
But you waste them so fast. Like it's such a big can, and you barely. It's so surprising how small amount you can actually cover with these huge cans.
Yeah. Because it's just so high pressured.
Extremely high pressured, yeah.
They are made for tagging. They're not.
Yeah,
made
exactly.
For
there are a lot of tags.
Yeah.
There are a lot of tags in my city with them, and I'm not a big fan because it's just like a quick damage, and most of these tags look shitty, and
yeah,
it's like a fire extinguisher or something like that.
Yeah, I'd love to have a go with a fire extinguisher. Have you had a go?
It was fun. It was fun.
It was fun in video, but the actual process, I literally was opening one of the fire extinguishers for 3 hours. I was beating up the fire extinguisher. I was doing it wrong for sure. The second one, I opened it in like 10 minutes, but yeah. But you really need to do it right, and you need to pressure it the right way, and many times it goes wrong. But I think you can get like, I probably didn't have the best type of fire extinguisher. I think there are better ones for this. But also with fire extinguisher, it's so big, but I was barely able to write doke. I didn't have enough color and pressure inside to write doke.
Wow.
I really love these pump bottles to paint.
Gardena. From
Yeah.
Gardena, this one?
Yeah, pretty nice. They have this big yellow ones.
And the white green one, the small
with the
one.
strap. Yeah, and the small one to just pump. I just
are
love
for poison.
Yeah, usually, yeah.
We have water in them, right?
Yeah, sometimes I paint like paint about, I don't know, 10% paint and 90% water. So you have like this washy paint effect. But when I paint with brushes, I always when you paint with brushes, you always need water to make soft blendings. When you have two options to make a soft blending, you have one color and another color, and you hurry up and you blend them together, or you just take your time and do the one color, let it dry, and it dries like in 6 minutes or something, and then you paint the other color, but you have to blend it soft with water, so it fade out like
yeah, I had a problem with
no
this.
color.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
you
my God.
you
I
were
asked
asking
you
about
it.
yeah. So this is usually the way I work with brushes. Like I always have one brush with color in my hand, and in my other hand I have a water brush or the bottle of water. Yeah, it's the key. I saw this trick, like I was painting with paint and water brush, like when I started painting back in the theater, because my painting master told me about that. But the key was I was following on Instagram the account Onur Painting. Anyone know him?
No.
I guess he's from the crew Schwarzmaler. I don't know if anyone know the Schwarzmaler crew. Like they have like Wes 21 from the Schwarzmaler crew is like the god of painting in Germany, I guess, but it's my opinion. But there is another one who is called Onur, and he has this very wide brushes, these wide and very flat brushes, and he paints with them, and he makes soft color transitions with this pumping bottle. And the first time I saw this in a post, it was like, man, this
guy
is a
Ono
genius.
painting.
Yeah, Ono Painting. He's one of my biggest inspirations. Yeah.
We're all on Instagram now looking.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
All plastic bags.
Uno.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Uno painting?
Yeah.
This is crazy because I
Uno.
wanted to do the same with my mountains, to let them fade out into fabric at the bottom.
Yeah.
This is cool.
You got it, Doke.
How is it Uno?
Yeah.
ONUR.
Yeah.
ONUR painting.
I already follow him.
Ah,
Yeah, he's the guy that did the fire
Yeah,
mural.
the fire.
Oh my god, yeah. When I seen that,
Yeah.
I thought it was actually on fire.
Yeah, totally. And there is another one, if you are still on Instagram, there is another one who's called Wes 21.
West 21.
Wes 21. And his painting styles.
Yeah, I follow him
different.
as well.
Yeah, he's different. I really love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really like distressed looking. Like, so
Yeah.
does he use like a card or something? Does he paint and then like scrape it back or something?
Yeah, it looks like he paints like with real brushes, but it looks like a concept design or something.
Yeah.
I really love it. Yeah. It's pretty nice.
If you look at like one of the videos that he's got here, he's like got a big thick lump of like acrylic paint, and then he's like masking taped out the area and then like pulled the paint across. It looks really cool. I love how people do that. I think it looks awesome. Like, because I
really love watching videos or looking like for 10 minutes at a post and try to understand how the artist creates this artwork, and try to read something I can understand and translate it to my artwork.
Yeah.
I actually sometimes even try to repaint the exact artwork, mostly just part of it.
Biting.
No, yes, biting. To exactly like understand like how the hell did he do this? But sometimes the problem is that when you try to mimic a realistic painting on a canvas digitally, the tools are a little bit different, but you can get the idea how to do things.
Yeah. There's a Instagram page out there now, or a TikTok page, where there's a guy that goes around and he does other people's artworks to understand how they do it. So it was like I don't know if you've seen that you could do like lightning on like a piece of wood, is where you connect it at both ends with electricity and then run water across it, and then the lightning bolt goes through it. And he did that recently. And then it was another one there when he was doing like oil painting. He tried to paint I think it was like the Mona Lisa, I'm going to say. And he tried his hardest to make it look as close as he could, but couldn't understand, because actually when you look at like things like the Mona Lisa, it's like optical illusions in there. There's like the background, even though it looks like background, is painted like a foreground. And then it's like, it's just such a, that's just a minefield that painting is on its own. But yeah, he was trying to understand the Mona Lisa, and he's like, I still don't understand what the feck is going on.
But Smo does.
Yeah.
No.
But no, we'll have to. You have to set another challenge this year, I think. Smo, come up with a new challenge. I think is the upside down challenge.
Fuck challenges.
Okay, let's. Okay, now I say the challenge for this year. It's the challenge that we all have to go through. It is terrible. It is hard. I will do it. Nick will do it, and you all will do it as well. It's the 24 hours challenge for sure.
That's my challenge.
Yeah, it's your challenge. We talked
Painting
about it,
for
and you
24
said you
hours?
have the same idea. So
What is this challenge about?
you have to paint 24 hours, and that's the whole challenge.
Stopping.
And
Outside?
whatever you want, you can make it digital or in VR. I don't
No
know.
VR, no.
Yeah, your
In VR.
will be bleeding when you do it in VR. I can do the VR glasses just for 1 hour, and after that, my eyes are like hurting so much. It's terrible. But maybe, Doc, this is something for you. Maybe 24 hours in VR, and you're like, after 6 hours, you're just screaming like, ah!
I was
banging on the wall. No!
I actually wanted to do. I wanted to do 24 hours live stream where I do tags for people.
Okay.
This is nice.
But because
Really?
I can. It is super nice.
I kind of like it, yeah.
You can make some money.
Yeah.
What I really would love to do is like doing the 24-hour challenge in the abandoned factory with all of you guys.
There's no lights. Is there any lights?
And
No, but
this is painting.
This is the challenge.
Yeah, but you can take light with you.
You can take. I got. I found these head lamps. This is a stripe with a lot of LEDs. From I will.
You will.
He will, and it'll cut out. He won't say anything else.
Well, I guess the best moment in this challenge would be like if we are painting like for 18 hours or 20 and going to the wall where you guys are painting and see your face like tired.
Yeah.
Painting, standing on the front of the wall and talking to each other and like, are you tired? Do you really want to paint?
Yeah.
But like more.
But there is an important thing in this challenge. Like, do we have the sketch before painting? Because if we know what we are painting, it's gonna be hard, but it won't be that hard. Because after several hours of painting, I feel like I can paint, but I can't think.
Yeah. So what I would possibly do is that when I was gonna do it was break it into 4 hours or something around that. And what you do is, on the build up to the first 4 hours, you pick something. Then on the build up, so I was going to do it all as a live stream. And then on the build up to the second 4 hours, you put out like a poll. So it's like 4 different things people could think. And then it's maybe the next one after that is whoever has the top comment, as in like pays the most money, gets me to pay. They get to choose the next 4 hours of painting. And then obviously then you'll string everything together. So the wall that I have here in Merthyr is probably like 60 meters long, and I was going to paint it all white, start off in the middle, then do 4 hours, 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 and then eventually then fill up the whole wall with paintings. And like I said, like every 4 hours then people can bid on the part that they can paint. So they'll say, I don't know, a unicorn riding a rocket.
But I just realized one big problem.
What's that?
ZHC have done this challenge so many times.
Yeah, but I was gonna do it as a live stream as well, and then just break that
live stream would be cool. Live stream would be really cool, because otherwise, if we don't do it as a live stream, it would be just like ZHC's video where, he just
fighting. Yeah.
SmoeNova sent a message.
Where did SmoeNova go? He's just sent a picture.
Yeah, his internet is not working, and he's sending you the picture of the light that he was talking about. Yeah, but actually, you can bring your own electricity into the factory. One thing is fuel generator, but that's smelly and noisy. But there are also these big batteries that you can bring. I have one of these.
2 seconds. He's on.
What the hell is that?
That's Smo.
What is he doing?
You got no internet anymore.
Okay.
Right.
But yeah, there are these big batteries which can power light for a really long time. Is he calling?
I don't know how to put him on because he's
5 of them for only 12 euros or something on Alibaba, I think.
Alibaba.
Perfect.
right.
Smo, come back.
Smo,
Turn off the voice call.
He has no internet, right? So, lads, I think it's
He
probably
has
the best
internet.
idea.
He's calling with you.
He's using his mobile internet. So, I'm gonna guess that we're gonna wrap up today's podcast.
Okay, auf Wiedersehen, Smo.
He can't hear you, but you can hear him.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Smo, pleasure. Doke, pleasure. Flo, pleasure.
See ya.
See y'all later. So that is it for this week's podcast. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like, subscribe, go follow all the guys that have been in the video. This is the YIC Podcast. Thank you for watching.